definitely mixed on the Giggle at the moment and not sure whether I love it or hate it, though I imagine that will change over time depending on where the show goes following on from this. The main plot is actually quite interesting, combining three concepts: the first TV broadcast, the return of the toy maker, and a world where everyone thinks they're right, and does really cool things with it. Unfortunately, I feel the story is somewhat overshadowed by a strange sense of setting up spin-offs, mystery boxes, and character returns. While I understand Russell wants to make Doctor a massive franchise again, setting stuff up is a smart move, but unfortunately it's taking away from the main plot, and we're likely not going to see much of Neil Patrick Harris again, if at all, so spending way too much time focusing on a potential unit spin-off, which isn't all that interesting now, is not building me much excitement for whenever it eventually comes out. I think Unit are fairly likeable, Mel, Shirley, and Kate, but it wouldn't take much to cut them out of the story to allow the main plot more focus. Neil Patrick Harris is great for what he gets, but he's not given nearly enough time to show off the potential of the toy maker, and I have no interest in whoever the one who waits is. In terms of bi-generation, I knew going into it that I would not like the concept, but the final execution somewhat works. Personally, I subscribe to the theory that following a therapeutic break, David Tennant's Doctor will eventually become Ncuti, and that they're not separate entities, and definitely this is something that didn't happen to all of the Doctors. As a means to retire David Tennant's take on the Doctor, it's flawed and somewhat derivative of Journey's End, but it's actually quite moving. But as a means to keep David Tennant's Doctor around indefinitely as a recurring character, or even give him his own spin-off, then it becomes a bit of a cynical cash grab decision. Regardless of how these episodes turned out, I really enjoyed seeing David again, but this should always have been an epilogue for his incarnation, and technically we do have that. And I'm not really in a hurry to see him again. I'm far more excited to see what Ncuti brings to the role. What little we get of him in this episode is really fun.